Good evening and welcome to the special broadcast. We're bringing you live images from the Prime Minister's roadshow here in Bengaluru, a 5.5 kilometer long roadshow for which people have been lined up for hours together. At the moment, as you see, this is where it's all going to end. This is where, in fact, people are standing with flower petals in their hands to shower them on the Prime Minister. Huge number of BJP supporters who are present on ground. On Wednesday, the Prime Minister virtually addressed party workers, and now with this roadshow on ground, clearly the BJP hoping that of the 28 seats in Bengaluru, 16 of which are ruled by the BJP, they would be able to make a further push. Very important because promises related to infrastructure, related to the city's infrastructure in particular, that have been made. In fact, several of those issues, in fact, are to be addressed in the manifesto that is expected in a few days from now to be released as far as the BJP is concerned. So very, very important. In fact, let me just quickly try and go across to my colleagues who've been reporting on this story right through the entire route of the Prime Minister's roadshow. Neha Ibale is also joining us at the moment. Neha, quickly take us through what's happening there near you. I believe the crowds are massive along the entire route of this entire roadshow. Over to you, Neha.
ಖಂಡಿತ ಈ ಸಲ ಒಂದು ಒಳ್ಳೆ ರಿಸಲ್ಟ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ ಬಿಜೆಪಿಗೆ. ಮೋದಿ ಅವ್ರನ್ನ ನಾವು ನಮ್ಮ ಹೇರೋಹಳ್ಳಿ ಕ್ರಾಸ್ ಜನ ಇಷ್ಟು ಜನ ಇವತ್ತು ಈ ತರ ನೋಡ್ತಾ ಇದೀವಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನಾವೆಲ್ಲ ತುಂಬಾ ಹೆಮ್ಮೆಯಿಂದ ಹೇಳ್ಕೊಂತಾ ಇದೀವಿ. ಆ ಭಗವಂತನ ಎಷ್ಟು ಜನ ನೋಡಿದಾರೋ ಇಲ್ವೋ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ, ಬಟ್ ನಾನ್ ಕಂಡಿದ್ದ ಭಗವಂತ, ನಾನ್ ನೋಡಿದ್ದ ಭಗವಂತ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಮೋದಿ.
Okay, sir. Okay. Well, of course, quite literally over here, you can see that the kind of people who've actually come down have been quite excited for quite some time now. They've been waiting for hours over here. They've just seen the Prime Minister. In fact, to quickly translate what he said, he did go on to see that it's almost like he's seen God is what he said. He said that I don't know if others have or not, but the fact that, people of this area have been waiting for hours together, we'll really have to wait and see. It is, of course, going to be quite a neck-to-neck tie over here in the state of Karnataka, is what we're picking up even through the political channels right now.
All right, thanks so much for that update there, Neha. Let's quickly go across to Deepak as well. Deepak, you were there when it all began. In fact, massive crowds at that nice junction. Take us through what exactly is the mood at the moment. Are supporters still there? Are they still in high spirits?
Well, a lot of people were still around me, Madhav, and you can see still many of them lingering around because they realize that this is not an opportunity that comes by all the time. Yes, elections happen very frequently, 5 years once, but for the Prime Minister to arrive in, very close to their homes, that doesn't happen all the time. And people, of course, were excited. We saw a few people bringing in placards that they've made at home, waiting from about 3 this afternoon. There was rain as well this, afternoon in Bengaluru. There was a lot of sunshine later. Nothing stopped the people. I have a bunch of people who've come to see the Prime Minister. ನೀವು ಹೇಳ್ಬೋದಾ ಎಷ್ಟೊತ್ತು ಹಿಂದೆ ಬಂದ್ರಿ ನೀವು ಪ್ರೈಮ್ ಮಿನಿಸ್ಟರ್ ನೋಡಿದ್ರೆ ಇವತ್ತು ಖುಷಿ ಅನ್ಸುತ್ತಾ?
ಖುಷಿ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ತುಂಬಾ ಖುಷಿ ಆಯ್ತು. 3 ಗಂಟೆಯಿಂದ
ಬಂದ್ರಿ ನೀವು?
ನಾವು 3 ಗಂಟೆಲ್ಲ ಬಂದು ನಿಂತಿದ್ದು. ನಾವು ನೋಡೋಕೆ ಖುಷಿ ಆಯ್ತು.
ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಫೋಟೋ ಎಲ್ಲ ತಗೊಂಡ್ರಾ ಪ್ರೈಮ್ ಮಿನಿಸ್ಟರ್ ಜೊತೆ?
ಎಲ್ಲಾರು ತಗೊಂಡಿದ್ದೀವಿ.
ಹೂ ಹಾಕಕ್ ಚಾನ್ಸ್ ಎಲೆಕ್ಷನ್ಸ್ 5 ವರ್ಷಕ್ಕೆ ಒಂದ್ಸಲಿ ಬರುತ್ತೆ, ಆದ್ರೆ ಪ್ರೈಮ್ ಮಿನಿಸ್ಟರ್ ಯಾವಾಗ್ಲೂ ಈ ರೋಡ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಪರ್ಟಿಕ್ಯುಲರ್ಲಿ ಬರಲ್ಲ. ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಹೇಗೆ ಅನ್ಸುತ್ತೆ?
ಇದೇ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಬಂದಿರೋದು.
ತುಂಬಾ ಖುಷಿ ಆಯ್ತು.
ತುಂಬಾ ಖುಷಿ ಆಯ್ತು.
ನೀವೆಲ್ಲ ಎಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಬಂದಿದ್ದೀರಾ?
ನಾವು ಇಲ್ಲೇ ಇದೆ ಯಶವಂತಪುರ.
ಸುಮಾರು ದೂರದಿಂದಾನೇ ಬಂದಿದ್ದೀರಾ?
ಹೌದು.
ಮತ್ತೆ ನೀವು ನೋಡಿದ್ರಾ?
ನೋಡಿದ್ವಿ ಸರ್.
Well, all of them, of course, here. Let me show you the kind of, excitement that the Prime Minister brings. While the Prime Minister has passed this particular area, they've hooked onto their phones right now, and they're taking a look at the Prime Minister's rally through, a regional news channel here. That is the kind of excitement that people have when they get to see the Prime Minister, and that's exactly what we've seen. Now, this particular blitz by the Prime Minister, 3 different public meetings today through the entire day, and then this particular roadshow tomorrow in Kolar. Again, he goes to 2 other public venues where he will be addressing massive gatherings, and then in the old city, heritage city of Mysuru, yet another massive rally being held there. So the 2 biggest cities in Karnataka is being targeted by the Prime Minister. Bengaluru in particular, as you are aware, Mother, 28 seats that it brings, and the BJP initially, of course, last time managed about 11, but then, of course, with a few people switching from the Congress and the JDS, their tally has gone up. But this time, the Prime Minister hopes and aims that tally becomes even bigger, and this particular rally, in fact, a little at a little distance. In fact, right here, I can show you this particular poster. Everywhere that we saw, this particular poster is very prominent. What is important about this poster is all the Bangalore MLAs feature here from the BJP. You have Dr. Ashwath Narayan, you have Mr. Somshekar, you have Mr. Gopalaya, Muniratna, Vishwanath, and many more, of course. And some of them were contesting this time as well. So for all of these candidates, it is going to be a big boost from through this particular campaign of the Prime Minister. And we've seen how much of an impact the Prime Minister's rally has had in the past.
Absolutely.
Definitely this one as well. All of these candidates will be hoping this too has a big impact for them.
Absolutely. Deepak, stay with us. We're going to come right back to you. I'm also going to take it across to Neha. But Neha, it's very important to tell our viewers that these 8 constituencies of Govindraj Nagar, RR Nagar, Mahalakshmi Layout, Dasrali, Yeshwantpura, Yelahanka, Byatrayanpura, clearly it is reinforcing the strongholds because 7 of these 8 constituencies are already ruled or have returned a BJP candidate. So that's very significant that it's through this northwestern part of Bengaluru that the Prime Minister is traversing through at the moment. And this, they hope, will have an impact not just in these constituencies but also in the neighbouring constituencies from where citizens have come in large numbers to catch a glimpse of the Prime Minister. Neha. I think we've lost that line there with Neha once again. Let me quickly take this back to Deepak. Deepak, very important that these are areas where the BJP has already demonstrated its strength, but the hope of the BJP is that this would be transferred to neighbouring constituencies as well, where there are a large number of citizens currently gathered from.
Absolutely. The outskirts of Bengaluru is something that the BJP, of course, is looking at, Madhav. We should understand that be it Hoskote, be it Malur, be it Kolar, or even the other side, where, Chikbalapur, or even, Dodbalapur, all of these, of course, are very important constituencies. Now, these were areas that predominantly it was the Congress, of course, that made inroads, held on to these constituencies. This time, when you look at Sudhakar, of course, left from the Congress, joined the BJP, he's bringing, a new hope in the areas of Chikbalapur and surrounding areas. This time in Kolar as well, the BJP is looking strong, and this particular campaign happening in Bengaluru will, have a resonating effect on all of these constituencies. And more importantly, tomorrow the Prime Minister is holding a public rally as well in Kolar, very close to Bengaluru, just an hour and a half. So all of this, of course, is going to have a big bearing. That's where the BJP says, well, it's not over until it's over, because while the Congress, of course, has been saying that it's clearly going to be them that's going to, get majority this time around, the BJP hasn't been saying much, and they're saying that we'll let our work do the talking. We'll let the campaigns have an impact. We'll really have to see with another 10 days to go, about 10 days to go, how much of an impact will the Prime Minister have. We have told that the Union Home Minister Amit Shah is going to camp predominantly in Karnataka till about May 8th. So that also is something that we should keep in mind. Today, of course, in Bengaluru and in Udupi, 2 massive, road shows, even in Kodagu as well. So Kodagu again falls into the old Mysuru region. This time, one of the seats in Kodagu is looking a little shaky for the BJP. With the, Union Home Minister's presence there, that as well could tilt in favour. How does the Congress really look to counter all of this? We are looking at multiple rallies from, the AICC President Mr. Kharge. We're looking at Rahul Gandhi, we're looking at Priyanka Gandhi as well hold these campaigns. But do they have the kind of star power that the BJP brings with them? With the Prime Minister coming here with massive rallies like this being carried out, with the Union Home Minister. But, the Congress keeps saying, well, we don't need, central leaders to come here.
These are very important aspects, Deepak, that you're talking about. But let's quickly go across to Neha as well. Neha, the most important aspect is this, and you've covered several elections in Karnataka. The fact is that in the last election, the BJP got a major boost in the last 2 weeks with the Prime Minister's extensive campaign on ground in Karnataka. They're hoping that they will be able to rework that Modi magic once again in Karnataka to boost their numbers in this final phase, in this final fortnight. Neha.
Well, Madhav, that's absolutely right. You've hit the nail on the head here. The Prime Minister, in fact, coming down time and again and being received by such massive crowds each time. You can see the kind of, excitement that's in the people over here. And one thing, that's evident is that the BJP in the state, in fact, the state unit has, of course, been using the star power that follows, the Prime Minister and the Home Minister to their favor. We're going to, quickly try and, of course, get in a word here from the people on this and ask them how much of an impact is it it really going to have? Sir, if I can ask you, how much of an impact is the Prime Minister's visit going to have in Bangalore, sir? Are people today voting for the BJP or are they voting for the Prime Minister?
We are voting for the Prime Minister.
Okay, okay.
We love Modi. We want Modi.
So you've come, sir, you've come from where? If I can ask you, where in Bangalore have you come from?
We have come from this place only, Airoli Cross.
Okay. So you're saying that you're voting for the Prime Minister, sir. So does that mean that the BJP is going to be making a comeback, sir, in Karnataka? Are we going to be
Yes,
seeing
sir.
that?
Yeah, surely BJP will come back because of Modi.
Okay, okay. So it's the Modi magic.
Yeah, it's a Modi magic.
Okay, okay, all right. Well, of course, an excited lot of people over here, Madhav, and what's evident is that, we heard it from you, we heard it from Deepak as well. It seems like, people this time around, of course, are going to be voting for the Prime Minister predominantly. Ma'am, if I can just speak to you, you've come down today to watch the Prime Minister. Is this going to have any impact at all this time around on the elections?
ಓಕೆ ಪ್ರಧಾನಿ ಮೋದಿ ಅವರೇ ಬರಬೇಕು, ವಿನ್ ಆಗಬೇಕು.
Okay.
ಅವರಿಂದನೇ ನಮ್ಮ ರಾಜ್ಯಕ್ಕೆ ಒಳ್ಳೇದಾಗತ್ತೆ, ಖಂಡಿತ ಇದಾಗತ್ತೆ.
ಕರ್ನಾಟಕನಲ್ಲಿ ಫೈಟ್ ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ ಆಲ್ವೇಸ್ ಬಿನ್ ನೆಕ್ ಟು ನೆಕ್. ಬಿಜೆಪಿ ಕಾಂಗ್ರೆಸ್ ಆಗ್ಲಿ, ಇವಾಗ ಜೆಡಿಎಸ್ ಕೂಡ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಪ್ರತಿ ಸಲ ಕಿಂಗ್ ಮೇಕರ್.
Only BJP. No fighting with BJP.
Okay, okay.
Only BJP.
So you're saying there's
No fighting.
Okay, okay, all right. Well, Madhav, of course, quite evidently, while, there are reports that suggest our, on-ground coverage also, of course, does suggest that there may be a close fight between the BJP and the Congress. The people over here, of course, this time around clearly have a different picture to tell. They're all quite excited. They had been waiting for quite a few hours now to meet the Prime Minister, to get a glimpse of him, in fact, and they did manage to do so. But, like Deepak was also mentioning earlier, it is going to be a series of road shows for the BJP now ahead of the elections. How much of an impact is all of this really going to have on the people? Well, we'll find out very shortly. Just about 2 weeks to go now for the voting in the state.
Well, absolutely. And Neha and Deepak, as the Prime Minister's convoy approaches the location where I'm currently at, in fact, a lot of expectations of what they will see. In fact, the initial pilot vehicle right here on your screens. Any moment now, we can expect to see the Prime Minister at Sumanali, where this rally is now about to culminate. And in fact, huge number of crowds are currently at. In fact, the crowds are all chanting Modi. They have collected flower petals to, in fact, shower them on the PM when he approaches this particular area. Police also, in fact, are present in large numbers over here now, and the initial police deployment that has also now arrived at this particular spot. And in fact, in just a few moments from now, we'll be able to get a glimpse of the Prime Minister. As you can see, both sides of the road lined up with security personnel who have, in fact, been walking along the entire route. And in fact, in a few moments, we can expect to see the Prime Minister's convoy, the bus on which he's atop, the vehicle on which he is atop, to arrive at this particular location. And in fact, network also, of course, as we all know, and locations like these and situations like these tends to be quite spotty because of the kind of security apparatus that is in fact in place. And you can see now those convoys arriving. In fact, the initial pilot vehicle has crossed, and now another police vehicle that is in fact at this particular location with the Prime Minister's security detail, it appears now, that is going to appear before us. Yes, and those vehicles, there you see it. There you see the vehicles that are coming in. In fact, the first vehicle with a camera up on top of it, with a Jimmy Jeep camera on top of it, which is just ahead of the Prime Minister's vehicle, where in fact he is atop. In fact, you can see in just a few minutes from now, the Prime Minister is going to appear at Sumanahali, and in fact the crowds over here already chanting Modi in anticipation of the Prime Minister's arrival here. As you can see on top of there is the Prime Minister and several of the candidates in these constituencies. In fact, Sadanand Gowda, former Chief Minister, also with him other top leaders, in fact, who are present as well. And in fact, as the Prime Minister arrives here with, in fact, the hat with saffron hat cap from Uttarakhand with a Brahma Kamal on it, in fact, that we are seeing he's present in Bengaluru, waving to the people. And in fact, just look at the flowers that have been showered. Look at the huge outpouring as far as these supporters of the BJP, many of the citizens
Okay, Madhav Das Gopalakrishnan, our senior editor, our national editor on the ground, reporting every development as Prime Minister Modi is passing by through these large crowds. Deepak Bopanna and Neha Hebale still with us. And, Deepak, just look at the number of people and the reception that the Prime Minister has got in Karnataka.
Absolutely, and this is where the BJP says that he's a game changer election after election. And more importantly, of course, while the Congress campaigns are also going quite strong here in Karnataka, the BJP plans to turn all of that around with this blitzkrieg campaigns of sorts by the Prime Minister. Now we should fathom this, Pranesh. Today and tomorrow alone, the Prime Minister is addressing about 6 different public meetings and 2 roadshows. And where are these roadshows being held? One in Bengaluru, where there are 28 constituencies, and of course the BJP wants to improve its tally from the current number of seats that they hold. They want to ensure that the new entrants as well into the Bengaluru win, and they use the effect that the Prime Minister has on the voters, on the minds of the people to their advantage. Tomorrow they go to the heritage city of Mysuru, and that's also a very important region, a region which is important for any political party if they actually want to win and come to Karnataka with a majority, because that is a part of the old Mysuru region, the Vokkaliga belt. All of these areas, of course, get affected by the rally that he's going to hold tomorrow. This is going to be in the heart of Mysuru, is what we've been told. Again, a rally which is going to extend to over 5 kilometers. So definitely all of these rallies, all of these public meetings in the last 10 days make a big impact for the BJP. The Congress, of course, will be looking and thinking, well, we do have the good prominent faces, leadership in the state of Karnataka, but are they lacking the kind of star power that the BJP has, especially with the Prime Minister himself leading from the front. The Union Home Minister today campaigning in coastal Karnataka, that as well is a very, very vital constituency, something that the Congress, of course, is trying to gain from this time around. So definitely, as this particular roadshow culminates here in Bengaluru, the kind of impact that it would have had and the resonating impact it will have to neighboring Chikbalapur, Kolar, Hoskote, Malur, and even a little further away as well will be something that the BJP will hope to make gains from. The Prime Minister will be back, of course, in a few days from now to hold a few more rallies in different parts of Karnataka. The old Mysuru region is something that they're concentrating upon. So these are going to be massive campaigns for the BJP. The impact it will have on the voters' mind and on the voting day itself is something that we'll know on the 10th of May. There are several state issues that have been discussed by the Congress. They have tried to make this about local issues, about local leadership. But we've seen today the kind of response that's come in. As soon as the Prime Minister is here, it becomes about the Prime Minister. Everyone says, well, the Prime Minister will do good. And whether it's a state or, the Lok Sabha elections, you see this sort of a, resonance in or rather the sync in what the people have to say. It is, the Prime Minister, what they are thinking about, and it is what they feel will make a difference in their lives. Now, how the BJP will cash in on this is something that remains to be seen, and how the Congress, of course, will try to ensure that this does not negatively impact their campaign is also going to be interesting. We've already seen them today go ahead and file a complaint, say that, he's blocking roads. Now, we should understand this is a main road. A lot of course, shops and establishments on this particular stretch of the road, residential homes. Now, because the Prime Minister was here, it had to be, blocked off at various junctions. The Congress objected to that as well and filed a complaint.